Hi, welcome to this video from Augmenting Creativity, which is a workshop that's running in Creativity and Cognition 2022. This series of videos is looking at simple AI tools that might be used to enhance creativity in some way. So we're going to be introducing tools that hopefully you can bring into your creative practice to start collaborating with or experimenting with AI in some way. The tool that we're going to look at in this video is called Wombo. Wombo is a pretty simple tool. You may have seen it online. It's been quite popular on social media, and it's a text-to-image generator. So the way that it works is you give it a text prompt, you describe something or give it some words, and you hit generate, and it will generate an image based on your description. And it can do that using a number of different styles. So we'll look at this as we go through, but there's a few kind of visual styles that have been pre-programmed into Wombo, different models that you can use. And you can play around looking at how your phrase is imagined as an image using different models, using different styles. It's completely free to use. It's accessed online via a browser. And it's a really simple way of quite quickly generating imagery that you might then bring into your creative practice in different ways. So the way to access Wombo is just to go to the website. So if you navigate to wombo.art, it will take you to their website. You can then click on Start Creating, and it will bring up the text prompt. So this area at the top here is where you can put in a description up to 100 characters, which is your description of something that you want to visualize, want to imagine using this AI system. Underneath that are what they describe as the art styles, so the different styles that you can apply to this particular generation, this particular image. And there's quite a few in there. Some of them are based on particular artists like Salvador Dali. Some of them are more about just a visual style, a type of graphics. So you can play around choosing different ones from there. So if we were to start by putting in a description and maybe make it fairly kind of clear and practical, let's start so if we start by putting in a description of something and then see what it generates off the back of that. So let's say a hat with multicolour feathers on top. We can then choose our style. So let's say we want this to look vibrant, because that kind of suits the description. Once you hit create, it will then take a few seconds just to generate your image. And you'll start getting a kind of basic image, and then it should become kind of clearer and more defined as it goes through. So there we go. So it's kind of as simple as that. You then have the options that you can name this artwork, and the name will appear on there. You can get it to show the prompt on the artwork, so it will say at the bottom of the artwork what the text was that was used to generate it. You can buy it as a print, but one of the most simple things to do is just to save the image as it appears on the screen. So you can just do a right click or a control click and do save image. You can work through quite quickly creating different styles. If you don't like the kind of the look of the one that's there, the first thing you can do is just generate again. So you can hit generate again, and it will come up with a slightly different version using the same prompt and using the same art style as we chose previously. There we go. Or you can go back and you can maybe change styles. So you can keep the same prompts, but choose a different style. So maybe let's have it in a Salvador Dali style. So you can see his style is now kind of integrated with the image. So you can go back and you can do different types of prompts. You can always add stuff to prompts. If you find it's not quite getting what you want, then you can try making the language a bit more precise, or changing the words that you're using, switch out for different types of words, and see where that gets you. It's not just kind of objects. You can describe scenes. So let's say peaceful garden full of roses, and let's try a high definition for this. One of the options also is no style. So if you just want it on its own, you can try that without kind of imposing the style of a different artist, or a particularly strong visual style on it. So there you go, there's our rose garden. And as you go, you can save these, just save them onto your computer, and then you can go through and decide which ones work best for you, or kind of meet your needs in the best way. You can also do, as well as kind of scenes like this, you can be more specific, or try and get kind of more close up into things. And you can find playing around with the language can allow you to do that. So if you describe something as a close-up, for example, you're more likely to get kind of images that include textures, and include that kind of close-up imagery. So let's try close-up of rainbow paint swirls, brushstrokes. Let's try that high definition again. So describing certain patterns or shapes, or asking for kind of close-up, or other types of scene, you can start manipulating this so it's potentially generating stuff that's more like you want, more as you wish it to be. Of course, if you keep the language vague, then you're going to get more surprising results. You're going to get stuff that perhaps isn't exactly what you wanted, but that could be useful for the creative process. So that's it, that's Wombo. It's a pretty simple tool, but potentially something that's quite useful for generating imagery for creative purposes.